Hello all, and welcome to this Friday afternoon's beer review, which I'm going to call the workshop beer review because I had to go to work on my day off, but the good thing was it was for a workshop, and we got a free lunch at the end of it, which was honestly really good. So, well, we all won out in the end, you know what I mean? Anyways, what are we reviewing this afternoon? Yeah, still afternoon, it's only about 5:30. It's the beer that I was actually really excited to go when I saw it on the shelf at Tamura's because it's from a style that I've never had before. And the funny thing is, I saw it on the shelf the first week it was there at the Kailua Tamura's, and I was like, oh, I'll go and get it next week because I really wanted to go and try that Prague Czech lager, that the Czech Pilsner that I reviewed a little bit earlier. And it was a little bit more expensive. It was almost $15 for the 4 pack. So I was like, I'll go and get it next week. Well, it was already gone by next week. And talking to the clerk, he said, "Oh yeah, we changed distributors. We've got this small allotment of German beers, and when they're gone, they're gone." So what do? I go to the main Tamura's in town, which is actually where I live, but they have like a postage stamp size lot on a busy street, so I don't go there very often. And they still had it in stock. And I got it because I really wanted to review this. This is Grevensteiner from G&A Veltins. And this is a Kellerbier. That is an unfiltered, unpasteurized lager. And these aren't very widely distributed or sold in the United States because they have kind of a short shelf life, being that they are unpasteurized and unfiltered. So their flavor kind of gets wacky very quickly if it's not consumed soon after production. Now, considering how quickly this sold out and after it appeared on the shelf, I'm pretty sure this is as fresh as a German beer can get in Hawaii. That said, I can't really make out the production code on the bottom. But yeah, it didn't taste bad, that's for sure, the can that I pre-tasted. So, but it did taste very interesting. So let's go and read the back now, shall we? Grevensteiner, G&A Veltins. In the 19th century, the brothers Karl and Anton Veltins brewed an exquisite beer in their brewery in Grevenstein. I don't have my phone by me. A beer which gained popularity far beyond the borders of their homeland. With Grevensteiner, Brauerei C&A Veltins has now continued the story where the brothers left off. Our naturally cloudy Grevensteiner original is a smooth rural-style beer brewed using spring water and freshly harvested hops. Traditional malt gives our beer its amber-colored splendor and full-bodied aroma, brewed in accordance with the German purity law. Sorry that was so halting, but yeah. My mom was like commenting because I was like trying to read something earlier and I was like, just go and get glasses already. The funny thing is like I can read books fine, I can read like computer screen fine, but stuff less like printed on things that are not like paper or big, it's difficult. In fact, just reading this right now without using my phone to light it up a little bit, just gave me a little minor headache. But so we're almost 5 minutes in. Let's just go and pour this one out. 5.2 ABV. Don't know the IBUs, but for this style, I don't think it particularly matters. Okay, well, there's a little bit left in the bottom there, but I want to keep that head there. A cloudy amber orange amber color with a foamy off-white head of, it's very dense, but it does seem to be, it's like either large bubbles and small bubbles. It's very dense otherwise. Yeah. So you definitely get that lager smell, but it also smells much more doughy, much more like bread dough or batter, So instead of like having kind of grain-like notes, it has or cereal notes, it has more dough notes, batter notes. With a slight sweetness to that dough. Old world hopping. But yeah, so that hopping's generally there. I would say it's more malt forward, but there is that old world hop presence there. Yeah, very interesting. Let's get this on the palate now, shall we? Definitely a thicker mouth feel than, most German lagers at 5.2 ABV. In fact, a very thick mouth feel for something that's only 5.2. Kind of a funky top note up front that doesn't show up in the nose, but very strong in the top note. So you get those bittering hops, appropriate for a German lager, kind of at an even level throughout, from the front all the way into the finish. Surprisingly clean for something that's unfiltered. I was expecting, that finish to have a lot more malt in there. But at its base, there's that maltiness. It's got some chew to it. You know what I mean? And oh yeah, let me top it off with what's left in here. It's got some chew to it, and there's kind of a toasted roasty note to this, which is unsurprising. It looks like they use some amber malts in this. But at the same time, it's still very doughy kind of maltiness on the palate as well. And the combination of that sort of roasted aspect and doughiness is evocative of a pretzel, like a German pretzel almost. Or almost a bagel, maybe also too. Something thick and doughy. As something that's unfiltered, there's also a yeastiness, a yeast-like note to it. And, there's got to be quite a bit because it's unfiltered and unpasteurized. But at the same time, it's very subtle. You catch some of that yeasty funkiness, but it is nothing like, that phenolic kick that Belgian yeasts will have. I would say, yeah, it's even. I would say it's more subtle than like a Hefeweizen yeast note. It kind of blends in with those bready malts, you know. So it warms up. A slight herbaceousness is coming to the top note of the hopping. But still, this is very much a malt show in which the hops and yeast are playing strong but supporting roles. I'm kind of wondering what you would pair this with. Um, yeah. Now I'm enjoying this. Oh yes, it warms up. It's kind of getting a slightly sweet note to it. I have a feeling that this could be kind of a polarizing style for some people because it's the the tastes on the palate are not very clean. But I'm not complaining about it like I would with some beers because it's unfiltered and unpasteurized. It's not supposed to be clean tasting. It's supposed to be kind of, for lack of better words, muddy or unclear. It's supposed to be natural, or as they say on the can, naturub, or something like that. Yeah. So this is a interesting experience. I'm not going to say there's a high amount of complexity there, but it is unique. You know, there's yeastiness in ways that other yeast notes I've never seen. You know, it is not resembling other yeast notes that I've had before. Yes, it's funky, but it's funky in a different way. There's that whole dough aspect to it. Yeah, and you know, goes to show you that sometimes, you know, simple things can be interesting. I would definitely go and recommend trying this and trying this style. I mean, if you can find it, and hopefully it hasn't been sitting on the shelf, but you know, like I said, this is like the first time I've ever actually seen a Kellerbier or reviewed a Kellerbier. So, um, I'm not sure how easy it is to find on the mainland. It's probably easy to find in Germany, you know, because that's where this style came from. But it's not a style that I've seen many craft brewers go and take up. Looking at the style things on Beer Advocate, it doesn't seem. It seems like the vast majority of beers listed there are actually from Germany. You know, with only about 50% being craft brewers. So yeah, this is rather hard to find style, and probably a difficult style to do right. And that added with the short shelf life means that you're probably not going to see it around too much. So if you do see it, give it a try. You might really like it. I like it. You know, I like it enough that as a rare experience, if I see it, I'm going to try it. But I don't like it enough that I'm going to seek it out constantly. So, like I said, there's still some left at the main Tamura's. Maybe give this one a shot. Grevensteiner. And that, folks, is your beer review for this afternoon. Prost.